Hey, hello and welcome to an exciting episode of Adventures in Celluloid. I am Corey.
And I am Josh.
And we've got a guest with us. Introduce yourself, guest.
Mike.
Yep. And what's your special connection to the show?
My name. There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of Mikes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you guys asked me.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to look for new, exciting things that people maybe have not heard before.
Yeah. Haven't heard of Mike before.
Oh, no, wait. I'm your brother, Josh.
Not
your brother.
Oh, right. We're brothers.
Just share some genetics.
You probably may not be able to tell who's talking at different points.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm the one who has been on the show before, but you probably still can't.
Anyway, today or tonight, whenever you're listening to this, we are talking about Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Hallelujah.
It is finally here, and Josh and I have not talked about it at all.
It's been so hard. We literally, on the way here, we were not talking about Star Wars.
Why?
Corey, well, you saw it last night, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw it, last night to you listeners would be like 2 nights ago, I guess. But I saw it on opening night, but at like 8 o'clock. Mike, when did you see it?
Midnight, opening night.
Cool. Yeah, so we purposely didn't express any emotions we had about it.
Wait, so you guys have no idea how
each other feel about the movie.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Saves a lot for the for this little podcast we're doing here. But
For all we know, it could be the beginning of Adventures in Celluloid Civil War.
I hated it. I loved it.
Anyway, so before we unleash everything, just a warning, although it's already in the title and the description, that this is going to be full of spoilers. I cannot talk about this movie without spoiling it. So, yeah, it's going to be full of them. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, please stop the podcast right now. Okay? Okay. Let's get started here. How should we start this? I have no idea how.
I loved it so much!
Yes! I loved it. It was the Star Wars movie that we deserve. It's been 32 years, and we finally got it.
I think it was. I walked out. Thank goodness, by the way, that you both just said you liked it. Yeah. Or this would have been the worst thing I'd ever been a part of.
I hated it.
I walked out of there so happy. Like, whoa. Childhood redeemed.
Yeah, pretty much. Like on the way home, I got in my truck. On the way home, I was like screaming. I was freaking out. Like I was like, I'm so happy that it was made this way and not like totally horribly than all the prequels. Because the prequels, like, they didn't give us much hope.
Did you guys watch the prequels before?
I watched them the day before, and I wrote down every single problem I had with them. The total is 112, and we're going to get to those once we do those episodes. But
That's exciting.
Yeah. We're thinking things through here, like especially when it comes to George Lucas and ruining our
lives. People are
lives.
going to listen to that and be just really angry for like a week.
Pretty much.
But yeah, should we talk about what happens in this movie, or the whole thing and be us geeking out over it?
Oh, we're all gonna be like loving over it. Like this is my Force Awakens. So it's the greatest thing. Personally, it is one of the 2 greatest movies I've seen all year. Yeah, the first one, I think the first one I saw at like summertime. I think it was
Alvin and the Chip.
No, okay. Funny story about Alvin and the Chipmunks. I didn't know that came out the same day that Star Wars came out because like
I don't even want to look how it's doing.
Alvin and Chipmunks totally bombed. I was like, what? I thought they came out a long time ago, like back in like 2000 something.
I can tell you how it's doing. It cost $90 million to make, and it made 1.1 on its opening weekend.
Oh my gosh!
So pretty good, basically.
Yeah, like I said it before, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but whoever scheduled that must hate Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Or else it was scheduled for a different time, and then the producers watched it, and the studio watched it, and they said, we're going to move when this comes out, just so that our reputations aren't completely ruined.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I didn't even know that was a movie.
Okay, what was the other one?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either. I've seen the first 3 tons of times. He hasn't seen the first 3.
I haven't seen the first 3.
Well, don't say anything. We're not spoiling that movie. We're spoiling.
Yeah, I won't. But that and Star Wars, and I liked Star Wars better. So
good.
That I mean, like, I didn't know what Mad Max was about. I watched the movie and I still didn't know what it was about, and it was great. Just didn't make any sense. But Star Wars, I mean, like, right combination of it paid so much.
There were
Like-
so many. There were so many moments throughout that movie where they would like the moment would start, and as it went, I thought this could go one of two ways,
Yeah.
and it always went the right way.
Yeah.
Always. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, except, well, we'll get to that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are we going to go through the plot of this one?
Yeah, we
I
can
think,
go through-
I think we're going to interject many times during this.
Yes.
Anyway.
And for I'm pretty sure that whoever's listening, I know you all have probably seen the movie. If you're listening to this podcast before you see the movie, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
Just saying, you're ruining your life
Yeah.
just a little bit.
But
But we're going to talk about the plot. Most everybody listening is going to know the plot because they don't
Yeah.
want they don't want it spoiled. So, but okay, let's go.
Take it
Let's
away.
get started with the plot.
okay. So this is about 30 years after the Battle of Endor, the destruction of the second Death Star and all that. And the Galactic Empire has been reorganized as the First Order, and their goal is to eliminate the Republic and all that that's been formed out of the remnants of the rebels, because they aren't really rebels anymore, and the Empire's gone. So,
Yeah.
But Luke Skywalker has gone into hiding, and his sister Leia is leading the Resistance, backed by the Republic, in order to find Luke and enlist his aid, all while opposing the First Order and all that. See, and a lot of people were thinking that Luke was hiding because he was bad, and I was like,
Yeah,
and
and-
we'll get to this
And
later. But
there was some, I don't, this might have just been me, but I was like, what if Luke is that guy in the black hood and it's just gonna ruin my day? But of course it was
Yeah.
some other guy. I was like, thank goodness. But to be honest, when he took that helmet off, I was like, who is that?
yeah,
Because I didn't even see him in like anything. I didn't look at any like pictures of
yeah,
Are you talking about Adam Driver right now?
yeah,
Yeah.
like sorry, like Kai, what's his name?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Like he took his helmet off, and I was like, what? And it's like I've never seen him before. So yeah, but continue. Yeah, I was glad.
All I
it
can say
wasn't
is,
that guy.
thank goodness though that Luke went into hiding for most of that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, then the Resistance pilot Poe Dameron has. I hope I'm pronouncing his name. Dameron. I don't know. I know. Let's call him Poe. I remember how his last name's pronounced. But Poe finds a map to Luke's location on the planet Jakku, but he's captured by stormtroopers under the command of Kylo Ren.
Jakku.
Jakku, yeah, Jakku.
I'm a nerd when it comes
There
to
we go.
this.
Yeah. I didn't hear it enough in the movie. Jakku. He's captured by stormtroopers under command of Kylo Ren, and he's got it on his droid BB-8, which escapes with the map, and it comes across the scavenger Rey, which I must say this is Corey's girl loving moment of this podcast. That she's cute.
Oh my
She's cute.
goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa. She is.
It was pretty good casting.
Oh, she's so perfect. She's so perfect. She was perfectly cast too.
Yeah,
Man,
like
she's perfect for the.
amazing acting. Like she looks like Keira Knightley.
No. Listen,
She does, though.
So here's
No.
the deal. She's like a way better looking Keira Knightley. It's like everything Keira Knightley wanted to be. But Keira Knightley got stuck with Pirates of the Caribbean,
Ah, stink.
and Daisy Ridley got blessed to have her first
Yeah.
major film be Star Wars.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty epic right there. Like that being your first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look forward to watching her more.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a little crush on her, but okay, let's go. But let's see. Rey finds BB-8 at a junkyard settlement, and then Poe gets freed by this renegade stormtrooper named, what was his name? FN1. What's his number? I know it's the same number that Leia's cell was
It's super
in the original
long,
one.
though.
No, it's just not long
No,
at
it's
all.
FN. It's like FN. It's three numbers. F-
Yeah, two
FN.
letters, three numbers, and like
Because
I couldn't remember.
This is the same number as Leia's cell.
They only said it like
2187.
3
2187. FN 2187 frees Poe from the the First Order. And he helps him escape because he wants to escape himself. So he finds Poe, who's an amazing pilot, and so they escape. And Poe christens F in the name Finn, because it's easy. They're right there. And they escape in a TIE fighter. And they're shot down and they crash on Jakku. And it seems like Finn can't find Poe, and he's like, okay, he's dead. And he takes his jacket. And then he encounters Rey and BB-8, and they're chased by the First Order because they're tracking down the map, and they flee the planet on a trashy ship. And it happens to be the Millennium Falcon.
That was so great when that happened. I was like, oh, wait, okay, find the trash. And then they started running, and then it came to view. I was like, this is the... Yes! Thank you! It was...
Yeah, like, I love how the Millennium Falcon has become like another character.
Oh, it's definitely
like whenever she was taking it off, it was hitting stuff. It was like, oh, don't scratch it. Oh, stop. No.
I grew up, my favorite ship was the Millennium Falcon. I've got it over there. Well, I've got 2 over there.
Nice.
I now have the Millennium Falcon drone. They make way better toys 30 years later. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, it's like I was Han. I was like, hey, watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. But anyway, they fly off Jakku, and it breaks down in space, and they're stranded, and they're pulled onto a freighter, and they're about to amp because they think it's the First Order, so they're gonna use poison gas on them. So they put on their gas masks, they hide, and into the freighter come 2 characters, the Dream Team themselves, Han Solo and Chewbacca.
That was also a really happy moment.
Who hasn't aged at all? Chewie hasn't aged one bit.
No.
His eyes are a little bit different, but yeah.
But they're home. They are home. Then they find them in the smuggling compartment where Han and everybody else smuggled themselves
Which, can I say,
before.
was a great... are we just going to interject
Yeah,
this?
go ahead, yeah.
Okay, well, I've missed thousands of times to interject already. We've been doing this for 5 minutes, but I'm going to here. They found him in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
And the greatest part about that was they went and hid in the cargo hold, and anytime you've ever seen anybody search the Millennium Falcon, they never search the cargo hold. But when the Millennium Falcon gets pulled in, the first thing they do, Han and Chewie get on the ship and go straight to the cargo hold. Chewie pulls it right off. And I was just like, moments like that would happen just every 5 seconds. Something like that happened where it just was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was... But anyway...
Everything. It's just, it's like, thank you for doing it right. Like, they did... Thankfully, J.J. Abrams knows what's up.
Like, he grew up with Star Wars,
yeah,
like everybody else did.
He did Star Trek, but he's good with Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
See, and then so they're on board, and they reclaim the ship under their names. And then Han explains to Rey and Finn that Luke tried to rebuild the Order, but the Jedi Order, and he's disappeared after his apprentice Ren killed off his Padawans and stuff. And turns out Ren is the son of Han Solo, and his name is Ben.
And his name is Ben.
Yeah.
Ben! Hey, Ben!
I was like, my expanded universe mind, I half expected him to be named Jason after the expanded universe son that went bad.
Which is going to really confuse people.
Yeah.
Over time, as Disney keeps making these movies, side note, expanded universe is going to really confuse people.
Because Ben, expanded universe, is the son of Luke, and now this child named Ben has now taken over the role that pretty much Jason had in the expanded universe by turning evil and all that. Turning in Darth Kaitis, however you pronounce it. I don't remember how you pronounce it. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah.
Ben.
His name's Ben after Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's assumed a name that everyone knows him by now. Anyway, Ben was seduced by the First Order's supreme leader Snoke, and he turns to the dark side. And I wonder about Snoke. I can't wait to see more of him, because we didn't really see too much of Snoke. Like, I heard him mentioned a few times. We saw him a couple times, and Andy Serkis is playing him, so that's gonna be a huge deal there.
Was Snoke the giant
thing? Supreme leader.
Okay.
Now, on that note, when they go meet Snoke, that was another moment where I was like, why is he so giant?
Yeah.
I was not happy about it at all. And when I say giant, I mean like they came in and this dude was like, I felt like for a second I was watching like a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is he so huge? Oh no, what have they? And then there was this tiny like little glitch.
Yeah.
And it was because he's a hologram. And again, justified just so long as he's not that big in real life. We never saw him in real life. We only saw him in giant hologram form. And I'm just really hoping that when they meet him, well, he's probably gonna be like tiny.
He's gonna be Yoda sized. Judge me by size, do you? Anyway, they arrive at the Falcon crew. Han, Chewie, Rey, and Finn, and BB-8 reach the planet of Takodana, I think it's pronounced.
No, it's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell?
No.
Let's not plug Taco Bell in our podcast. Yeah, they meet Maz, who is offered to help the resistance, but Finn wants.
That was an interesting character.
Yeah, she was very interesting.
The weird brain lady with the goggles.
Yeah,
I don't know how I totally felt about that. Although the CGI was done pretty well.
I'm okay with her.
But I'm. It was like a different Yoda, like how Yoda puppeteer Frank Oz, He did Yoda in the first ones, and then when they did CGI Yoda in the prequels, it like gave me a different view on prequel Yoda, because prequel Yoda was like
terrible. I think that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, and I wasn't too fond of it. But then what was her name? Maz. Frank Oz. But it kind of gave me a little bit of a remember. When you watch prequel Yoda and you hated him, you're supposed to hate this one too. But I didn't want to hate her or anything. I didn't really hate her. She was okay. I still don't really know how I feel about her. But
we'll see. We're gonna see more.
I liked her at the end of her screen time, not because it was the end of her screen time.
She was gone.
but when she was there and she had the advice and stuff. That's really all I had to say on that.
Right. So they meet Maz and she wants to offer to help the resistance, but Finn wants to go off on his own because he's like, I've done my job here. I'm done. But then Rey is upset by that, and she's drawn to this vault that's below the place that they're in, and she finds a lightsaber, and she has a vision, and she flees and wait, no, she hasn't fleed just yet. She has a vision brought on by the lightsaber, and when she's brought out of it, Maz is there, and she explains that this lightsaber belonged to Anakin Skywalker, and then is passed down to Luke, and so on. And so then Rey, obviously, like she doesn't like this vision here, and so she runs off into the woods, rejecting the attempt that Maz is trying to give her the lightsaber, because she's like, the lightsaber's drawing you to it. And so then
Maz knows things.
Yeah,
Maz can tell, because she knew everybody else. She's been around forever.
Yeah.
And like, Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
It was like a nod to that.
Yeah.
You could tell that she'd just been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just knew. And she even says, "I'm not a Jedi, but I can tell when I like what'd she say? I can tell when I see one or something."
Something like that.
Doesn't she she gets up on the table and she crawls toward her.
She adjusts her goggles.
You get your first hint that there's something special about Rey.
Yeah.
I got my first hint there was something special about Rey when she popped on the screen for the first time.
Yeah. Let's see. Then the First Order is drawn to the planet by there's a lady there. What was her what was that lady? Like she alerted the First Order.
Captain Phasma?
It wasn't her. It was that other lady that was in the place. Like she said,
I don't know all these names.
She was like, I don't even know her name, but she.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember.
She's hanging out in there.
Yeah, she was one of the. You know what she reminded me of? She was like a cousin of Jabba the Hutt's slave dancers.
Yeah, like
they had a cousin, not exactly the same line, but it's like, oh yeah, that's why she's there.
Yeah, and she alerts the First Order that the droid is there, BB-8's there, and there's also somebody from the Resistance that's like BB-8's here. And so the First Order is drawn to the planet, and they find Rey, and they take her to Starkiller Base, after capturing her, of course. And Starkiller Base is this planet that's been converted into a super weapon that's able to destroy entire star systems. So it's like Death Star turned up to 11. Yeah.
It's like Death Star 3.
Which
like,
I'm okay with right now.
I'm okay with it.
But like next time they either need to make whatever their Star Killer thing is at the next one, it probably needs to be a triangle or a pyramid or something.
Let's change the shape up a little bit.
Because we are really like, again, fail. It's just not working well.
Yeah. Let's see. It must have some hole that we can fly through to
Like
blow it up.
Certainly it has
Like the
certainly
last
has nothing
two.
to do with the circle.
Like the last two. We could probably blow it up the same way we do it, and then thus they do.
What if we make it lightsaber
The only-
shaped?
it extends.
Guys, it's too loud. It's too loud, guys.
Anyway, the weird thing about that was though it's been 30 years since since Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it's been 32 years.
So they built that in 32 years, or was it a different?
It's been
one?
about 32 years. But
So they built Death Star number 3 in 32 years.
Yeah, well, they built Death Star number. They built Death
Okay,
Star
that's
number
true.
2 in
Yeah.
like how long?
it was like 3 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really slowed down production.
Yeah.
I guess it was much bigger.
But like Death Star 3 is like a certified planet though, because
Yeah, it was a planet, but they converted it into
That's not a ship.
super weapon.
That's a planet.
Yeah. But then the Resistance shows up, led by Poe, and who is alive. Yay, Poe's alive. And
Who really is a great,
Yeah,
he's good.
I liked him. I
he
wish
was
I
a great
saw more
little
of him.
character, and he was a great pilot. Because
Yeah.
I believe that he actually flew an X-wing for that movie. I think he probably trained for years
yeah,
because he flew it great.
absolutely. And I love the reuse of the close-ups in the pilot cockpits. Like the prequels didn't really have that, but you're connecting with all the pilots, even the ones that don't matter that much, like in the original films. So there you go. They're all. Let's connect with all these random people.
Yeah, I have a question with Finn when he was, using the lightsaber stuff. When he said, that X-wing fighter was flying overhead, he's like, "Wow, that's one heck of a pilot!" And like the guy in it's like, was that?
That was Poe.
That's Poe.
Oh, was that? Oh, okay.
They didn't know.
'Cause they didn't recognize.
They didn't know though yet.
Yeah.
He didn't know Poe was still alive, and Poe didn't know that
Okay.
Finn was down there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got confused at that part. By the way, the one comment you said about Han Solo being the only non-Jedi/Sith to wield
that's
lightsaber,
now. But
it's
we
now
still
broken.
we still have 2 movies to see though. We don't know what's going to happen with
that's
Finn
true.
yet.
That's true. Oh,
Yeah, Finn could have come from anywhere.
yeah, that's true.
We'll see what happens with him.
It's weird that he's a stormtrooper. That'd be funny if he had the Force. He was
Yeah, these 2 new characters, we barely know their origins. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of like,
That was the one of the things that I'm not really worried about it, but they stuck a lot of new characters in a decently short film, which I'm okay with. You don't have to make a film 4 hours long with Peter Jackson. I'm sorry.
yeah.
But they've really got to do some character development as we go because I don't know anything about Finn, and I don't know why he's like he went through all that training, and there's never been anybody else so far that's like left, and he didn't ever kill anybody. He never fired his weapon. That was the very first battle he ever fought in.
Yeah, which was it was a cool defining character development plot point right there.
But yeah,
It
got
was
the
like-
movie going in the direction it needed to.
That happened. I was like, that's that one guy who takes his helmet off in the trailer.
And that kind of reminds me. Oh, this is a comedy thing. It reminds me of this Monty Python sketch where this guy is in the army and he comes into his commanding officers. He comes up to his commanding officer and he's like, "I'd like to leave the army, sir." And he's like, "Why?" He's like, "It's dangerous. I'm gonna die out there."
Monty Python.
Yeah. So the First Order they're pushed out of there for now because they have what they want. They've gotten Rey, and so then these Resistance fighters arrive, and know who they are. You got Leia and C-3PO, and did they say the significance of C-3PO's red arm yet?
They
They
probably
really-
got destroyed and then they just replaced it. I feel like.
I'm not sure if they.
Either that or they painted it red for no reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Fun.
they've noted that.
They got
yet
bored.
or
Well, what
not.
happened at the end of Return of the Jedi? Because remember, he was in pieces.
Was he?
Yeah, Chewie carried him around on.
Well,
his
that was
back.
Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
What? No, his arm was gold when he put
Yeah.
them together.
So
But that's the same arm that got. That was the same arm that got cut off, though. The left arm, right?
yeah, he lost that one in the original film as well.
Yeah, it might. Maybe it's just a
He's
replacement.
always losing that one. Maybe it finally fell off for good. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna see it for the second time soon, hopefully. But anyway, and so they go to the Resistance base with Leia and C-3PO, and they see R2-D2, who's been in low power mode ever since Luke disappeared. So
It's resistance. So first order's upstairs.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
No, it's okay.
it happens.
It's my children.
But yeah, R2's been in low power mode ever since Luke disappeared. BB-8's kind of disappointing. It's like, oh, I wanted to meet this guy. Whatever.
Did you guys like BB-8, by the way?
Yeah.
I did.
We're gonna get yelled at if we don't address BB-8.
Oh my goodness.
It's my new favorite. BB-8 and
It's
Ray.
real.
BB-8 and Ray. I know. I'm gonna get it.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Sphero one.
nice.
Like the tiny.
Yeah, it's
The-
4 inches tall, but it is the same. It's like made with the same mechanics
It's
and
super
stuff.
cool. Like
Because they had puppeteers doing it. It wasn't CGI or anything. Ooh.
that's so cool.
I loved it. That it could have gone so wrong.
Yeah.
Just another thing that it could have gone
Yeah.
so wrong.
Yeah.
And they finally give us another droid to attach to. It's like the prequels, they reused C-3PO and R2-D2. They didn't really give us
Yeah.
any new droids to attach to.
R5D4 they tried.
yeah.
R5D4 was back in this one too.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
The
I
R5
remember.
actually the R5 units were on the back of most of the X-wings.
Uh huh. But that was weird how he used BB-8 as his flyer ship thing. What is the use of the droids on the ship? I forgot.
To fix it when it gets shot.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Right.
gotta
Good
have-
job.
You gotta have a droid tell you what's going on.
The thing about BB-8, I can't remember which part this came on, but whenever they were like agreeing on like a plan or whatever, I can't remember what part it was, but then BB-8 like he has this little laser thing come out as like a thumb. He's like,
Oh, that was so cool. That's so funny.
That's hilarious. There were so many good, funny parts in it that were just like they were perfect, perfectly timed, perfect. Like if it was an homage, it was like perfect. Literally every funny part in there was placed just the right way.
So we're off track. We were just talked about Leia coming out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a
Oh,
princess
yeah.
anymore. It's General
Right.
Leia.
is General Leia.
It was, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think it was played by Carrie Fisher though. I don't.
It
think,
was.
No, I think that was Barry Fisher. Am I right?
Yeah, she's seen some stuff.
Yeah, boy, she came out and was like, "Hello, Han." Like, whoa! I was so expecting her voice to be like.
Yeah. She's had some drinking problems since
she's
then.
since- yeah,
so
no,
it's-
Drinking, smoking, yeah. Well,
yeah. But anyway,
It was interesting. Though.
but yeah, R2's been in low power mode. I've said that probably a third time now. But then Starkiller Base is preparing to fire on the planet Dakar. And so the Resistance is devising a plan to lower the planetary shield so their fighters can attack the Starkiller Base. And using the Falcon, Han, Chewbacca, Finn, they infiltrate the base.
Because
And
Finn knows what to do because he's a stormtrooper.
he worked,
janitor.
yeah, he worked sanitary
Yeah,
for them.
You were, what did you do here? Sanitation.
Wait, what? How does this help us?
I just love that then Chewie's like, and Han's like, oh, you're cold. Before this happened, it doesn't note it on here, but Rey uses a Jedi mind trick to be freed out of there.
She tries like 3 times.
Yeah, do you know who played this stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know who it was, Josh?
This is a good one.
This
Is it the same stormtrooper that?
No,
Nope.
this is a great cameo right here.
Yeah.
Was
Like nobody will ever like.
Give me a
nobody-
hint. Give me a hint.
I didn't know until like yesterday after I saw the movie. I was like, what? So I'm gonna see it again. I'm gonna have to listen closer.
Give you a hint. Okay, let me think.
Only hint I can think of is gonna be like huge.
Yeah.
Wait, I have
I'm gonna
an
give you
idea.
I'm gonna give you a music hint.
Was it John Williams?
No.
Okay. Wait a second.
Whoa, we're off track. Although he did write the music for this one.
Yeah,
He's been
that was
around.
great.
You know, Kenny Baker came and consulted on R2.
Yeah.
He's still there. He's still alive.
Wait.
Anthony Daniels played C-3PO. Like
Kenny
all the-
Baker's still alive?
Yeah.
I thought he died.
No. Warwick Davis was
yeah.
was at Maz's joint.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys. There's a lot of sweet cameos.
Okay, so who is this one though?
I can't think of the music hint I was gonna do.
Okay,
I can give you his biggest role.
okay, do it.
It's James Bond.
Don't think about it too
Sean?
hard. No.
No.
I knew you were gonna think about it too hard.
Connery.
More recent.
Timothy.
No, it's not Timothy. If
I haven't seen any of the James Bonds.
More recent, and by more recent I mean like literally James Bond right now.
Oh,
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. It's like they were filming Spectre in the same studio, like, and he had some free time, so he got with J.J. Abrams and he's like, I'm gonna play a stormtrooper. Like, okay. And
I'm going to play Stormtrooper.
like, I didn't learn that until after I saw the movie, so whenever
That's
I see it
cool.
again, I have to listen closer because I'm like, oh, that is Daniel Craig. But anyway,
I will what's the line? I will
undo you.
I will
We'll tighten your restraints,
yeah.
you scavenger scum, or something like that.
I will untighten your restraints and leave with the pod door open.
And it's like, and drop your weapon, and drop my weapon.
And drop the weapon.
That was great. That was hilarious.
And then Ren comes in, he throws a temper tantrum because she's gone, and he slices everything. Those two stormtroopers coming around the corner, and they hear what's going
That
on.
was
They
great.
just turn around.
There was some other big cameos, other big stormtrooper cameos. There was a composer, which is funny that you said John Williams now because, but I can't remember his name. But there was a composer who had a cameo as one of the stormtroopers who's done a bunch of famous video games.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember.
But anyway,
That's,
there's some fun cameos in here, even though most of them you can't see their faces. but so then Han, Chewie, and Finn are in there, and they find Rey, and they set explosives, and then they see Ren, and Han, being his father, he confronts him, and he implores him to
Like this.
Ben.
okay, go ahead. And then
Ben. What?
yeah,
How are you doing?
Chewie, Finn, and Rey are watching this go on. He confronts him and implores him to abandon the dark side, and seems like he's kind of winning him over. And he's like he's taking off his helmet, and he's like starting to hand over his lightsaber. But then,
Oh, I knew it was a sealed deal.
but then,
Like I was like he's gonna kill him or he's gonna change, and it wouldn't seem likely that he would change
yeah,
because he's too far in at this point.
No, I knew he was.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna kill Han Solo,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna be able to handle it.
yeah. It's like he plunges the lightsaber into Han's chest, and Han touches the face of his son for the final time, and
I cried.
he falls, and just oh my goodness, the collective gasp followed by silence in the theater. I'm never gonna forget that, because like everybody was shocked.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I felt the build up.
I knew it was coming. I didn't get sad until because I didn't think about Chewie until Chewie goes.
Yeah,
And then
he
just starts firing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, now I feel sad.
Yeah.
I forgot, like, oh man, he
Yeah.
has like a best friend.
We need to have a brief moment of silence for Han. And yeah, it was hard. He's like the first principal character of the originals to die, unless you count Obi-Wan. He's like,
Well, I actually have a theory on that because Alec Guinness hated this role and actually asked George Lucas to kill him off in the first one because he thought it was such a terrible movie.
I didn't
Fact.
you know that he hated Star Wars. He hated it. He threw away all of his Star Wars fan mail.
Yeah, Harrison Ford, when everybody signed on after the first one for a 3-movie run, except for Harrison Ford only signed on for the first 2 movies. That's why they froze him in carbonite, because they didn't know if he was coming back, and they had to. They just froze him like.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Well,
Yeah.
my thought
That was a good cover.
My thought is, if you watch any of like the interviews with Harrison Ford, like on Jimmy Fallon or
Yeah.
whatever, Jimmy goes like this one interview. Jimmy Fallon goes, "Now tell me, were you when you put that outfit back on? Was it just like were you just like reminiscing that just like means so much to you?" And he goes like, "No. Come on, I'm doing it for the money." And I was like, that's probably why they killed him.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll come back, but I ain't doing another movie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be
It's like
doing any more movies.
Harrison Ford, like, he doesn't really like playing Han that much because he so closely matches his own personality. That's why he loves playing Indiana Jones, because he's so different.
Because he plays Han every day of his life.
Yeah, because he is Han. So, but like, he wanted also to have him killed off in Return of the Jedi to like create like an emotional reason for the story, but then he finally got that here in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, you're right. Like,
It
that's
was-
the
it
one
was
thing
a-
about Return of the Jedi is it was a pretty like victorious ending in
Yeah.
terms of we didn't lose anybody.
Yeah,
Like that. It's like, okay,
The only
everybody's
person we lost was Darth Vader, and he was
Everybody's
bad,
fine,
kind
yeah.
of.
yeah,
Like he redeemed himself in the end, but
yeah. But like you're saying with Chewie, like I feel so bad for
That's what
Chewie.
killed
Like even worse for I feel worse for him than for Leia, because Leia's got other things going on.
Yeah.
Han is Chewie's life. Han and the Millennium Falcon are all Chewie has, and now he's lost his best friend.
Yeah,
It's-
that's where and you could feel it too.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's just
when that happened,
I was actually wondering
Daisy-
if they were going to kill Chewie off.
Daisy
Yeah.
Ridley's character Rey.
Ray.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
When that happened, she like didn't lash out. What's the word I'm looking for? She was like she yelled out like no, like
Like Luke.
yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she yelled better. Way better than
Yeah,
that.
way better.
But definitely way better than James Earl Jones in Revenge of the Sith.
But anyway, what I was getting at is because in Force Awakens she says that, or somebody says that Han is like a father to her.
Yeah, he's pretty much taken her under his wing.
Yeah,
far
and
as Falcon goes.
it's like
Which is where the character development gets a little shoddy because it's like, really?
she's only known him
known him for that long.
so long.
And
But
she
yeah,
and, like same with she and Finn fell in love. The best relationship development there was BB-8 and Ray.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we lose Han.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I was the guy next. Thankfully, I knew this guy, but I was sitting next to. I had to lean on his shoulder. I was just like, this is too much.
Comfort me. It's even worse. It's even worse knowing that Luke Skywalker is in hiding and not dead somewhere
Yeah.
because they're looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great appearance of him at the ending.
We'll get that. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. He's dead. He's not. He's
Yeah.
dead. He's not.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep you in the
I don't know.
wondering.
What's
I
going
don't.
Anyway, but yeah, then Chewie shoots Ren like right in the gut. Gets him right in the gut. Shoots him after he kills Han.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Yeah, just Chewbacca's got to get that one shot in. And so then he sets off the explosives, and they get the heck out of there because it's blowing up. And the Resistance X-wing fighters, they start attacking the weapon, the Starkiller base, and it begins a chain reaction that gradually destroys the planet. And the injured Ren chases Finn and Rey to the surface in the forest. I loved this scene. That they're
The planet's not destroyed yet.
yeah, it's crumbling and stuff.
Yeah, it's crumbling.
And Finn fights against Rey with Luke's lightsaber, and then Finn becomes wounded. Like, ooh, that was like nasty. Because right up the
slashed
back.
him. Yeah, it slashed him in the face and then right up the back.
Yeah. Like everybody in theater was like, ooh.
It was almost like a slice through, but not completely. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
And then the lightsaber is sticking up out of the snow. It's
Great lightsaber effects too.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I love the shot of it in the snow because it harkens back to Hoth.
Yep.
Back when Luke was trying to get it out of the snow.
Yep.
And then, like, Ren's trying to pull it, and then it goes right past him into Rey's hand.
Like a hatchet.
It was great.
She caught it, and she just like stood there like,
Wait,
I have the Force.
No. She knew it, right? Like that was the point. They were trying to get her. They had to they had to figure out how to get her to learn the Force really quickly.
That was one thing I was felt a little weird about. Like, she just started trying to use the Force with that mind controlling thing.
Yeah.
Because she tried to change the Daniel Craig's mind.
Yeah.
But she's sitting there and she was like, maybe I can use the Force. And then she did it. She could use the Force. I don't know. I felt like it would have been. They could have had a different lead into that.
Well, they did because
because he was
Ren
trying
came
to
in,
right.
and she realized when he couldn't, and she could see him. Like, what did she say? I sense fear in you, or whatever it was,
like that.
because he was like, "Why isn't this working? This is weird."
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, she gets the lightsaber, and then
what do you think about that, Lee? Just kidding. He's not here.
Oh, Lee. I'm sorry.
Lee's too stunned by this movie.
We miss you, Lee.
Lee, I thought you were
really
going to
do.
be here.
Okay, so then they fight because Ray's got the lightsaber now. Did I call Ren Ray earlier?
No.
I might
Why
have.
do
I
they
don't
make
remember.
all the
But
names
Ray-
this like so similar? It's like Ray.
That's just two
Ren,
names.
Finn,
Whatever.
and then BB. Okay, BB-8's okay.
Finn sounds pretty different from Ray. Not gonna lie.
No, Ren and Finn, but I was Ray, Ren, Finn.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
It sounds like a different Do Re Mi.
But if I confused names earlier or whatever, you get what I'm doing. Okay, anyway. So then they fight, and it's pretty climactic, and then she gets him across the face. Like he's got a nice
it's
scar.
him that gets
Yeah.
across the face, not Finn.
Like he's gonna
Finn
have
gets the back.
He's gonna have a nice scar the next movie. I can't wait to see that. It's like a year and a half away. Like less than a year
I
and a half.
know.
It's like,
552 days, I
Yeah.
think, from today.
I thought. Wait, they were fighting on. I'm just gonna call it Death Star 3.
Starkiller
right?
base.
Starkiller base. Okay, they were fighting on that one, but because it broke apart.
Yeah.
That one. Are we at that point yet?
Yeah.
Can I talk about it? Ray and Ren, they were fighting, and then like the ground like split, and they were split apart.
Yeah.
But because the planet ultimately blew up.
Yes.
It was
So-
falling apart, yeah.
Yeah. How did Ray get out again? I forgot.
The Falcon shows up. Chewie's piloting the Falcon.
Yeah.
So, but Ren is still there.
Ren
So-
gets picked up by the what is that ship called? The shuttle?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's
Oh.
called, but
That new shuttle with
Okay,
with the
okay.
two with the two wings and
Got
not
it.
the
Yeah.
three.
He's always like,
Because Supreme Leaders, remember General Hux goes to the Supreme Leader and he's like, "Bring Ren to me."
yeah.
yeah. And then Ren's always like, after Chewie shot him, he's just like,
Yeah.
I was like, why are you pounding your wound? It's not a good idea.
Because it hurts, because that's like,
He's stirring up
Yeah.
rage to become more powerful in the Force.
I think he's just trying to not die.
Yeah.
You make bad decisions when you're trying to not die.
Let me just pound this wound, maybe it'll...
But yeah, and then the planet is collapsing, and so the First Order evacuates Ren, while Chewie evacuates Rey, and so they go back to the Resistance base and celebrate this victory. And so then, while that, Leia, Chewie, and Rey are all mourning Han's death, and R2 awakens. The droid awakens.
Which has
And-
nothing to do with the Force Awakening. The Force Awakening is literally talking about the Force Awakening.
And so, I don't know if I mentioned it, but R2 has the rest of the map to Luke. And so he's finally awake.
Oh,
and
did we even mention that BB-8 has?
Yeah, I think I
Okay,
mentioned it
good.
earlier. But at least I hope I did.
That's like a little important to the whole.
So then R2 is able to bring up his part of the map, and they know where Luke is. So R2, Chewbacca, and our friend Rey, they follow the map to an island on a distant planet where they find Luke Skywalker.
Which is, we're getting to your Luke Skywalker
Yeah.
point, but it's Chewie and Rey Chewie sits down to pilot, and he's sitting in Han's spot, and Rey sits down next to him, and then you realize,
New combination.
It's the new team.
Yeah.
And you're so happy because you're like, I miss Han, but I will take Rey as the new team member. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that. Before you get to your Luke point, I just love that reveal of Luke. I
it's
just
pretty,
love it.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
It's nice Obi-Wan beard
He
going
lost
on.
a bunch of weight for that.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, he's gonna be
just
doing
that
episode
one-
8 too. So
he is, but I mean, like for that, and he grew. It's just,
The Obi-Wan beard.
Yeah, the Obi-Wan beard. He's like the new Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan trained Anakin. Anakin became that.
You know what I just remembered?
And then.
Do you want me to interrupt you real quick?
Keep on.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Remember our episode of the original Star Wars, how you said that Obi-Wan was wiser than a wise man on a wise hill?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here's the wise hill, and Luke is on the wise hill. Right there.
I got you.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway.
But, yeah, so, because Obi-Wan trains Anakin turns bad. And then Luke trains... Luke trains...
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. And...
Ben.
Then he
before he chose Kylo.
Yeah.
So he's like the Obi-Wan, and because doesn't Obi-Wan live on Tatooine?
Yeah, he lives on Tatooine to kind of watch over Luke as he's growing up.
Yeah, and then Luke is living on the hill to not do any further damage by teaching anybody else.
I think that Luke living over there is more of like an ode to the Beatles song, "Fool on a
Fool on the hill.
Just a fool on the hill. Sees the sun go down. One fun note: just watch when you get to the part with the Luke reveal when he takes off his cloak. Because, man, it's like he practiced for that part. He only had 3 seconds, and 2 of those seconds he was going to take that cloak off you like you wouldn't believe.
He was just turn around. They did good on the robot hand. The robot hand, the extra piece.
His cybernetic hand.
Yeah. It came up, you could see through it was like, yeah.
I'm so glad he didn't have his black glove this time, because that would have looked dumb.
It was one of the coolest shots in the movie.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, because they did that whole...
Yeah, it was like flying around.
It's like Highlander. Like,
yeah.
you've seen you haven't seen that one yet, but it's like these training scenes of Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert just going all around. It's just like that, and that's why I reminded me. Like, that's Highlander.
I said something out loud. When that shot went, I was just like, whoa. Look at that shot. It's like the water in the back. You can totally tell that they're in Ireland, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's probably where they filmed that. It's definitely like an Irish island.
Yeah, nice. So let's just talk about this movie in general now. But I have this other thought on my mind.
Thank goodness. We're going to keep talking about it?
Yeah, we're going to keep talking about it.
Oh, I thought that was it. That's why I kept
This is the
interjecting.
longest we have explained a plot.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Wow.
Did it go past Castaway?
I am sorry.
No, it's not quite as long as Castaway.
Not yet. This is about as long as our average podcast.
Yeah.
And we've only gotten to the plot.
This thought is on my head right now, but like I love like the imagery with the First Order. It's kind of like Nazi imagery.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because the Empire was partially based on the Nazis. Like Darth Vader's helmet was based on like German helmets. And samurai helmets, but both of them. And also stormtroopers. That term comes directly from Nazis. Because they had stormtroopers.
Yeah,
that's where that comes from. I just love that imagery right there. Because like when it first showed like the huge group of them when they're about to blow off the thing, I was like, oh, this looks like Nazis.
They had the red. I don't know what you would call those. Like the red banners hanging down behind General. Is it Hux?
Yeah, I think it's Hux.
Yeah. That was pretty sweet.
And didn't they all cheer or something? What did they do?
They suck their fists up in the air.
Just like, oh my gosh, hey, look.
They went, Hurrah! And I was like, yeah. Whoa, I don't feel comfortable around those guys.
There's another comment. I'm glad that they didn't make the fatal mistake that the Phantom Menace made. Because Phantom Menace killed off Darth Maul at the end. Mm-hmm. Well, they're keeping around Kylo Ren. Because like that was probably one of the biggest problems with the prequels is that they killed off their bad guys like as soon as they showed up.
They killed off the best Sith that we had seen. Like that could have been like a redeeming character going through.
Darth Maul could have been part of Anakin's fall. He could have been a big part of it.
He was awesome. He was probably the most awesome thing that happened in those 3 movies.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
I read somewhere that because Liam Neeson played Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
And Liam Neeson like doesn't die in any of his movies or something like that, except for one of them, and that's with Darth Maul kills him, and they were just stressing out how awesome Darth Maul was. That was a really bad tangent, but go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
What
bring up some stuff. You talk.
Okay.
For once in your life.
I was just gonna say, man, every funny part, every funny part in it, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
Well timed. I know I already said it, but it was just homage after homage, and it was just like perfect.
Yeah. But back onto Han's death, though. I mean, that's like the first time I've had such a beloved character die.
I know. I actually cried. I didn't cry. Like I teared up, and I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be tough because I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It's being like Star Wars is one of the first movies I ever saw. Of course, Han Solo's been with me like my whole life. Like he's been my favorite Star Wars character pretty much.
He's your favorite actor.
And Harrison Ford's my favorite actor.
Oh, yeah. Han Solo's not your favorite actor.
Like this is the first time I've seen Harrison Ford die in a movie. I'm sure he's died in something else, but this is like the first time I've seen him die in something, and I was like, I can't even. It's.
Yeah, when they came in on that ship, because they get sucked into
Yeah, it was like a freighter. What did they call that ship? It was weird.
I thought it was the First Order. I was like, oh great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, they thought it was First Order else.
Yeah, and then they hide in the smuggle thingy, and then who's looking up?
Ray and Finn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either of them are looking up, and they're looking at the door, and then right before it opens, he closes the smuggle hatch, and then Han and Chewie walk in. It's like they have a freighter now. Mm-hmm. They don't have the Millennium Falcon. They haven't upgraded, but it
hasn't been flown since it got stolen from them.
Well, that's what he's doing now. Is he went back? He says it has a line about it. He went back to do what he could do well, which was smuggle things.
Yeah.
So that's why he was smuggling whatever those. I forgot about
those creatures. I forgot they were called. But
that was one of my less favorite parts. I didn't understand what that creature was. That was I think that was like a sarlacc.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a sarlacc, a tiny sarlacc.
Some relative.
That wasn't in the sand or something.
It was. I didn't really too much. Wasn't very fond of that monster.
Yeah.
Although, did it have an eye as like a uvula or something?
I can't remember.
It was weird.
I just know how it died, or at least lost some tentacles.
Mm.
But this movie, though,
Man.
This is the movie that Star Wars fans deserve.
Yes. Yeah. How about first impressions? Like because we were talking about in the original trilogy podcasts that the amount of excitement that built up all the way until Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, and everybody cheering, yeah! And I was there. I waited 2 hours outside in 30-degree weather, forgot my hat, forgot my gloves. I just stood there keeping myself warm with a bag of food, warm food. And and then they let us in, and
wait.
It was a sold out. We were standing in line outside because they wouldn't let us in. This was at a theater in Olathe, the Cinemark.
This is for this one you just did?
Yeah, for Force Awakens.
Oh.
I stood in line outside.
I had reserved seats.
Oh, whatever. Well, we bought our ticket.
So I just got there and went and sat down. It was great. I had ordered some food.
I had the full experience. I had the. Oh wait, you went to Cinematopia, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because I bought my tickets 2 hours after they like at 3:00 in the morning, 5:00 in the morning when they released them. Well, okay, I'm sorry. First impression.
I was.
Yeah, yours sounds way better.
I stood there. My feet were like I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna die. No, but then I went in and it was worth it. It was like
I bet it was. Yeah.
It's like Black Friday and you're waiting, you're standing in line all night to get that whatever computer you want or whatever TV.
You've lost me.
Okay,
I've never
Black Friday 1 billion times better than Black Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That was an unworthy.
How many people were dressed up, like, do you think?
I would say only like 20%. But I think that's because of all the laws that were like, yo, you can't come in with.
No masks, no whatever.
Yeah, it was. But
no toy guns.
Which is, I guess,
but people had lightsabers. Like, they just had lightsabers.
That's not real. Lightsabers aren't real.
You're not supposed to bring toy lightsabers, though.
Who's going to stop them? Like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to return that to your car. What? I'm not scared of
this. This is my life. I can't be separated from it. So,
so anyway, I went inside. I sat down in the seats, and trailers were playing and everything. And then it came a long time ago, and then the trailer stopped. first of all, the trailer stopped. Everybody was like, yeah. People were cheering before the movie even started.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my wow. And so then it was like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And
it's the
Lucasfilm.
iconic. It's the iconic. The first
was there a Lucasfilm?
Yeah,
Oh
Lucasfilm.
yeah.
Oh.
With the greens. But the big iconic thing for me is when it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you just go like,
As soon as that happened, everybody just erupted in this huge cheer. And I was like, this is the greatest experience of ever. And it just happened. And basically, from then on out, through the whole movie, every time, like, when Han Solo and Chewie appeared for the first time, everybody cheered.
Yeah.
When Leia appeared for the first time, everybody cheered. When R2 appeared for the first time, everybody cheered.
oh, you're lucky. That didn't happen.
Yeah,
I
it
was
didn't
the
happen
guy
to mine.
cheering. I was the guy that was like, yes, sir!
Yeah.
There was one guy behind me who was just like, like through the entire movie, like.
Yeah, we didn't get much
But-
cheering in ours. It was just like my row, because there's like 12 of us that all know each other.
Wasn't
we were
that
just like,
weird?
Yeah.
It was weird to me that there was not more cheer.
Yeah.
You got what I wanted. Like
Yeah.
you got the theater experience probably that I
Probably because
wanted.
everybody was standing out in the cold. They just want to go. This is so worth it.
I didn't-
stay outside the cold.
I didn't get any trailers, though. Because like, as soon as the lights went down, Lucasfilm. You're like, oh, it's starting. Oh,
Sweet.
Where did you see it?
It was at Belton, their theater.
They just were like, I'm sorry that we're just gonna show you the movie.
Yeah, no trailers. We're just like, oh, it's on.
We realize you don't care at all of it. Actually, I did want to see the new Independence Day trailer, and it didn't show during my
Yeah.
showing. So,
But yeah,
Did you guys see it in 2D or 3D?
I had to do 2D to start, and then I think we're gonna go.
sometime.
You and me are gonna go with maybe 3D.
Yeah.
I talked to our dad today. If you forgot,
Tuesday.
We're brothers.
Oh yeah.
Two of us are brothers, and we're gonna go see it on the extreme screen.
Oh, nice.
Or the
Ooh,
IMAX,
IMAX?
something like that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well,
I saw it.
That'll be.
I saw it in 3D. It was
Really?
yeah, it was pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
For the first one,
Yeah.
how was it the 3D okay?
Yeah, it looks fine. There's a few moments. There's like, whoa, what is that? Like the Star Destroyer, like when they were showing it, or whatever
Yeah.
it is now. Like it's you see it from the front. Like the whole thing was like pointing out of the screen. I was like, oh, I'm gonna bump my head on that. And like whenever at the end when Rey's holding out the lightsaber, it was like, oh, she's holding it out there.
Man, the lightsabers were so awesome.
Oh, they did so well with those.
The sound
Every
effects
glow.
on it, oh, it was so good. So, what was your first impression?
Like I'd been hanging out there in the lobby. You know, with the,
Oh yeah. And then we came.
You were there. You were
we
going
watched
to
Krampus. I watched Krampus last night.
saw them
Oh!
before that.
You were there at the same theater when he went to go see Star Wars? Oh, I would have gone to see Star Wars again.
Yeah.
It was great. But like we were hanging, me and all my friends I hadn't seen in like a year. We were just hanging out in the lobby, you know, talking. And the guy was like, "Okay, we're finally forming the line for Star Wars 3D." And we're the first ones in line. And then we're just waiting. We're waiting. And then finally, okay, we're seating for Star Wars 3D. And he's like, get in there. We're on our way. And he's like, the moment has finally arrived. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm walking
It was
towards the door of Star Wars 3D.
It was Obi-Wan with the Santa hat. That's
Yeah, and he's like, "May the force be with you."
Man, that guy was waited. That guy's worked at that theater probably for 60 years,
Probably.
just for the sole purpose of making sure that he got to do the well received Star Wars opening.
Yeah, but yeah, and it was.
Oh man.
His name was probably Ben.
But yeah, and then we go into the theater. We're all sitting down. You know, we're sitting there waiting like 20 minutes until like, oh, yeah, let's get this on. Come on, Force Awaken right now. Force
No
Awaken.
trailers.
No trailers. They
That's
just went
so weird.
Just went straight to where like the lights went out, and then Lucasfilm was up there on the screen. And
That's
like, oh.
awesome.
Yeah, and then bang, and of course, and then we're all like, yeah, like my row. Nobody else was here, but my row. Like, yeah,
It was your row, and then Ben was in the back. He's like, "Yeah, the movie is now starting."
They're ready to get through the whole thing. And there is a Han and Chewie.
They're back, folks. Like, shut up, dude.
like every time one of the old characters showed up, it was just my row going, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be too loud. It's seem weird.
Like even like the row behind us.
I would have been like.
Even like the row behind us, like my friend that I went with, his older sister, her friends, and their parents were there. And even they weren't even clapping or anything. It's like, what? You're still technically with us, yet you're not even. Whatever.
Nope, don't know him.
Like one of my friends somehow wasn't psyched about it, and he was just like, "I'm looking forward to it. I'm not crazy about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it."
How can you like not be crazy about it?
But then like he just first he saw the originals like just a year ago. We finally got him to watch them, but then he's like, I'm kind of excited. It's gonna be okay. And
Which one
then,
was this? Was this?
This was Dylan.
Dylan, okay,
the one
yeah.
with the mane.
The
main. But like, and then at the end of it, he was like, "That was awesome!" It was great. All awesome.
Okay, not the prequels.
There's 112 problems with those.
I think there's more.
I probably
there's more problems.
I
than that.
probably missed a couple while I was writing the other ones down, but it was.
Man.
But yeah, whew. But let's see. Should we go to what we rated it?
Wait, content or quality first? Because I feel like quality is just going to be like a great end.
What did you rate it out of 10? This might be a beginning of a civil war.
Wait, let's do content first.
This might be the new.
Because content's short. Let's just get content.
But this might be the new Starman, our big disagreement.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
You know, Starman. There's always produces big disagreement.
It's like I give Starman a 10 and he gave it an 8, so that's a big rift in our friendship.
Wow.
Yeah, he's never looked at me the same since.
Wow, what a rift. Like I would think rifts happen when you're like 4 to 5 points away. Not like 2.
Like he expects everything to be the Godfather. It's like,
hey, what can I say? But yeah, okay, so content first. There's like no cussing in this movie. Maybe 2, okay, maybe like 3 very, very mild things. But we always do this.
I don't remember.
Episode. But
single thing.
It's like it's like the old trilogy. Like it's super clean.
Yeah, it's not like where Jabba goes, I'm not Dodo.
Oh my gosh. Literally nothing inappropriate.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And
it is a little,
except
there's intensity stuff.
There's definitely a lot of violence in this one.
Yeah.
Much more violence than any of the other ones.
No.
Revenge was pretty violent.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
he goes over
okay.
and kills young.
Oh yeah, and he burns up. Never mind.
He
kills
a whole faction of young children.
Okay,
that's pretty violent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this like with the effects are much more advanced.
It's only been 10 years.
Better.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Revenge was more violent, and it was also so bad that makes it even worse.
Like one of my friends, he's like, I liked Revenge of the Sith. And I was like, okay, it was the best prequel, but it doesn't mean it was great. He's like, I liked it almost as good as Empire. I'm like, shut your mouth right now. Stop it.
Wow.
I thought it was, but I'm like it. It's very, very tame in terms of like
my kids are gonna
besides
watch
violence. It's violent, but it's not like
it's Star Wars.
It's not Walking Dead violent.
Yeah, but
where you're like oh.
Whenever I'm a parent, after my kids watch the original ones, I'm probably gonna wait a few years to introduce them to the sequels, so they can at least build up their relationship with the original characters for a few years until.
I think I'm just gonna do some fan made movies and remake the 1, 2, and 3. Like, no, seriously, that's what the next ones were.
I told this with Josh that I want to like rewrite the prequels. Like personally, I'm gonna take a personal mission for like a year and rewrite the prequels how they should be.
Okay,
I'm gonna do that.
I will stand behind you on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
We're in full support.
Because like also when I was
then show George Lucas, because he's already shown that he'll change things anyway.
Yeah. 20
years later. So you might as well try it again.
One of the one line that got me to do this idea of rewriting them, like in The Empire Strikes Back, when Yoda and Obi-Wan are talking about training Luke, and Yoda's like, he is reckless, and Obi-Wan's like, so was I, if you remember. And when I was watching the prequels the other day, I took a tally of how many times Obi-Wan was reckless. And the grand total was 0. And that one line is like, you couldn't get that one thing right. Like then, so.
It's like do you remember when Anakin is sitting there and he uses the Force to lift up like that apple or
pear
that fruit
or
or whatever it is, and then
yeah.
he flies it over, and then he cuts it and then flies it back, and then he says the line, Obi-Wan would be very angry with me if he saw me using the Force like this. And she's like, and then she eats the pear. And then in the third movie, in Revenge, there's a scene where Obi-Wan is... I hate those movies. But he goes like into this... this pod door opens, and he like turns around, and he like gets down on his knees, and then he uses the Force to shut the pod door. And it's things like that where it's like, stop using the Force for stupid stuff. Like, Anakin just said that you would be so disappointed, like so angry at him for doing that. Maybe just shut a pod door with your mind.
Maybe Obi-Wan hates fruit.
Yeah, you're right. It could be like They should have just like delved into that line, like Obi-Wan would be very angry if he saw me cutting this pear because he hates them. He hates pears. He's very allergic. Yeah,
Anakin was allergic to pears.
Makes a lot. I am.
Oh,
no, like yeah.
Anakin, what did I tell you about pears?
I'm just gonna go in here and use the Force to close this pod door.
Like Obi-Wan teaches another Monty Python reference here, but Obi-Wan teaches the Jedi self-defense against fresh fruit class.
It's Fruit Jedi instead of Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, back to content.
I save for
I'll probably show it to my kids when they're like 10.
10. Yeah.
I'll show them the originals several times over before then.
How about your kids? They're already bored.
Yes, they are. I almost showed my 4-year-old the first 3, and then I was like, let me step back. I would have if my wife hadn't stepped in and been the voice of reason. So I'll probably show her, honestly, I've already thought through this, I'll probably show her the first 3 before 8 in a couple years, and then reevaluate how much I've ruined her childhood at that point, and then at that point I'll be like, okay, yeah, she can watch
her morals.
She can watch the rest of them. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, don't let her watch the prequels until she's at the age where she understands that they're horrible.
No, I think I need to let her watch them now
and make her choice.
When she doesn't know, like
it's can't really enjoy
then
when you're
in
older.
like 15 years. I'm like, you remember? Yeah, you saw him. Like, I don't remember. Like, I gave you a favor, child.
Yeah, they're much more.
You've seen them. You don't remember.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose.
See, the prequels are much more enjoyable when you're much younger.
Oh yeah,
because I liked them when they came out. Of course, I was 9 when Revenge of the Sith came out, so it's been a while.
All of the. Oh, there's
Go
my
ahead.
4-year-old. Hold on. Hold on. Do you get total side note? And I guess you guys can address this when you talk about him. But anytime young Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor flies his ship, did you ever notice that his ship looks like Darkwing Duck?
Yes.
Like every time I see that ship come on screen, I just think like Darkwing Duck. Let's get. No, it's just getting going. The scary movie's just getting going. You have to go upstairs. Almost done. I have 2 children and they're here. That's the 1-year-old. Okay, content. So content, is it strictly, is content, is, we might have to cut some of this out. Just wait a second. He'll be tamed in the moment.
Content is basically PG-13, anything that has to do with an MPAA rating system.
Okay, hold on.
You have to get down before we start talking again.
Okay, so content. Go ahead.
Yeah, most of the movies we just got like use your own judgment. Honestly,
we always resort to that, but of course we're like, sure, they can watch The Godfather when they're 2.
But 10's good. 10 is good.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till they're PG-13.
Yeah.
Or 13.
It's your PG-13th birthday. Yeah. No, but yeah, best judgment. Yada yada. But
okay.
So quality. Hope this goes well. Are we gonna say it at the same time?
Okay, we're gonna say it at the same time. Okay.
How about let's hear Mike's first, Mike. Out of 10.
Quality?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I should preface it by saying I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Love Star Wars. Up until I saw Force Awakens, the best movie I had ever seen in theaters was Batman Dark Knight. I'm pretty sure this outdid it. I may be biased. I give nothing a 10 when it comes to quality, ever. I gotta say it's a 10. That's how much I loved it. It was a 10. I will show that movie to my children and people I don't know, because apparently those are the two groups that I'm going to deal with for the rest of my life. It's my children and people I don't know. It was fantastic. Everything I could have hoped for. 10.
All right.
You ready?
Okay, Josh.
Countdown, Mike. Wait. After 3.
I didn't know I was still at it.
Are we go on 3 or after 3?
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
How about I count it and you guys say it?
Yeah.
That's
Okay. You guys ready? Whoa, there is. I feel like force. 1, 2, 3.
10. Oh.
I feel like everybody knew it was going to be 10, just like everybody knew Han was going to die. But we still thought something weird might happen.
First 10 I've given a Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi. So,
Wait, I thought you liked Empire Strikes Back more than Return.
I do. I gave all 3 the originals 10s.
Okay, me too. But
See, like right now,
I'm so glad that happened.
right now, the current order of my liking of the Star Wars movies:
Ooh, this isn't. I like this. This is interesting.
Empire, the original, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
Wait, did I miss Star Wars in there? Where did Star
I
Wars?
I said the original.
The original it was called the Star Wars.
I just call it the
I
original.
know. I just said Star Wars.
Yeah, you said the original.
Yeah, I just call it either Star Wars or the original.
I know it is.
Mine's
I know it is Star
Yeah.
Wars. So say it again. Empire,
Empire, Star Wars,
Oh, Empire, Star Wars,
then Jedi, then Force Awakens, then Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones.
I'm gonna have to say, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Star Wars.
You liked it better than the original? I'm not going to judge you for it. It's just your opinion. You give it.
Yeah, but I give them all 10.
Yeah.
So technically they're all tied, but I mean, like, in terms of what sticks with me more,
Yeah.
and then prequels are all zeros, not zeros, but you know, they're below. So yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike?
It's tough. It's tough. I can't really rate Force Awakens in the same. Like everybody agrees that that 1, 2, and 3 have no bearing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be even in the same. I just consider it one terrible movie. So it's like, like I can't tell you which. I can't tell you which one's worse.
There's something about the prequels though that I want to bring up after you.
I think probably Empire, and then they just it's so difficult.
Yeah, like I'm even wondering about mine.
I think
sometimes.
Empire. I think Empire, and then Star Wars, Jedi, and Force are equal in my mind.
It's fair
Because, but it's different. I mean, the Force because of what they were able to do in homage to the original, and then why is Star Wars and Jedi the same? You know, if you held the lightsaber to my head, I'd probably go Empire, Jedi, but Star Wars is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about that,
Yeah.
everything about that movie set in motion.
Yeah.
You know, the greatest trilogy ever made. So, okay.
Yeah. A bit of side note here, but one thing that returned from the prequels in Force Awakens, and it's an actor. You know which actor that was? Aside from, like the consultants and all that, like Warwick Davis and all that. It's one actor that's exclusively in the prequels. It was just a voiceover, but whenever Rey is having one of her visions, you hear Obi-Wan's voice, and it's Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
And like Ewan McGregor's probably the best thing about the prequels.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he wasn't bad.
My buddy that I went to go see Force with, we were talking about it, and I was like, man, I mean, I don't know what. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn is Liam, I don't know, he had to be so embarrassed doing that movie. But Ewan was like the one redeeming factor.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
a
was
great
so
actor.
good that everybody else just sucked because like
Yeah.
they were sharing screen time. My buddy pointed that out. I was like, that's a great point. Like you have screen time with Ewan and you're as terrible as it was. But you're right.
Like, because I was watching Revenge the other day, and like this time I was actually studying it, getting all my problems with it down. Like, he really stole the show. Like, it became about Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. It wasn't about Anakin. It was about Obi-Wan dealing with Anakin.
Yeah.
That's what it really was. And like, I've seen him in other movies, and he's great. Pretty much everything that he's in.
Oh, I like you.
Yeah,
McGregor.
I hope to see him in an Obi-Wan spinoff.
That'd be
I'd like to see him
interesting.
again.
Are they going to do an Obi-Wan spin?
I don't know. They've got like 3 spin-offs planned. One of them is Rogue One, which comes out in about a year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Do you remember Rogue One? Remember I had all those figures, those Rogue One figures?
Yeah.
and then they're gonna do a Han Solo prequel. I
Oh
guess.
yeah,
And
I was
then-
gonna audition for that.
Nice. I'd watch it.
Thank you. I really was. Like I heard it come out. I'm probably not really, but I heard it. I heard that they were taking all auditions for it. I was like, "This is my moment. This is it. This is." And I told my wife, I was like, "Should I go do that?" She said, "Absolutely, honey."
I feel like I should lose a bit of weight, and I would be able to.
Do you know what? I bet they're gonna do a spinoff of. Bet they're gonna do a Boba Fett spinoff.
I bet.
Oh,
Because
man.
there's
I'm just waiting for them to
Yeah.
announce it.
I'm even wearing my Boba Fett socks, even though I'm not a huge Boba Fett fanboy. Like, yeah.
You really, Boba Fett was really not a major character.
Yeah.
Ever.
Just probably
He just looked cool.
Mostly because
He
he looked
looked
cool.
cool,
That was
yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
He looked cool. Like I already talked about some of the oversaturation of Boba in the changes that they made to the.
Oh
originals.
yeah,
Like
it's so obvious why they.
yeah. I think we've got pretty much all bases covered.
Yeah.
I think this might be our longest podcast, but that's okay because
Oh no, it's totally
Star
worth it.
Wars is back.
Totally deserves it.
It's back.
It
That's
is back.
great. Star Wars. The Force has awakened.
Yeah.
Awakened.
We'll do. I've okay. Let's see. The episode we have scheduled after this is Spider-Man 2, so enjoy that. Enjoy that. It won't be as exciting as this episode, but enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, Spider-Man 3, and we just kill it.
Yeah, that's our first one that we kill,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think that's all we've got to say here.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me join you guys.
Yeah,
No problem. Thanks
When I
for-
found
thanks
out
for-
you were doing this podcast, and then I listened to them, and they were Star Wars ones, and then I was like, called Josh and was like, or I texted you, and I think I was just like, when do I get to do something? And then he was like, well, we're doing The Force Awakens, and I was like, I might be kind of busy. Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm going to do it. Don't get it. What are you doing? I just come to my house and we'll do it, please.
So if we're ending this now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we have a tradition at the end of each one.
Did
where-
we finish the rating system?
Yeah, I think we did.
great.
Yeah, we all gave it 10.
Yeah.
It was like,
Oh,
Ten-
yeah.
tens
I
across
remember
the
that
board.
now. Yeah.
And Lee, what
wait.
did you give it, Lee? I think that meant 10.
oh, you know what Internet Movie Database gave it?
It's an 8.8 right now,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's sitting at 8.8.
Oh,
Yeah, but it just came out, so we're going to have to.
Hey,
wait
before
a
you
little
end
bit.
it, can I say one?
Yeah.
Before you end it, I want to just address this one thing. As we talk tonight on Sunday, what is the date today?
It's the 20th of December.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is the numbers so far. I think this is great. Force Awakens earned an estimated $238 million at the domestic box office on opening weekend. 5-day international debut, $279 million. It's made $517 million globally so far. Broke Jurassic World's opening record box office, which was 208 earlier this year. And then just a couple more numbers. So these are all the records it is. Biggest Thursday preview gross, $57 million. Biggest Friday and single day, $120 million. First film ever to post a single day over $100 million. That's crazy.
that's awesome.
Fastest film to $100 million. Fastest film to $200 million. Biggest December debut. Highest theater average for a wide release. And it just goes on and on.
It's
and
like the original Star Wars was a booming success. This one's like it's like the sequel to the booming
on.
success.
Oh man,
right here.
this thing is just going crazy. And I'll probably go see it another 3 times
Yeah.
in theaters. I
Like,
mean,
the rest of my family hasn't seen it yet, so
yeah.
I'm going with them at some
Well,
point.
that's like they're like 0.5% of the population that hasn't seen it then. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to not talk about it with them. Like my little brother's like, so what happens? I'm like, the only thing I've said to my little brother is that Luke isn't the bad guy. That's all I've said, because he's been like, Luke's to be the bad guy. He's gonna be the bad guy. I'm like, nope, he's not. That's all I'm gonna say. So remember, until next time, may the force be with you.
And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.